everyone, Xanero Gaming coming at y'all with another video, and in today's video we are doing our state of the meta report for the Union Arena trading card game. And I've just gone on here on exburst.dev. If you've not checked it out in a while, there is, you know, a new layout, new kind of color scheme, and I do think that it looks pretty good. It's just a little bit to get used to, but once again, just go to the competitive tab here and then go to tournament hub, and then this is where I've kind of pulled all the tournament results on here. I've just gone through from the last, like, you know, 2.5 weeks, I think. I've pulled data on it, and obviously I've made a pie chart for you all on here. So going to the pie chart I've made myself for this one. Really interesting, right? Really cool. Obviously, we are lucky in Union Arena, and these always look so good. I think the last time I counted it, this is at like 25 unique different decks in local webcam, just any tournament reports that are on exburst. These are the decks for you here, and there are a lot of them. So looking at this pie chart, you can see here, Red Kenshin still the top dog of the meta, and I think that is no surprise to anyone. The deck is still absolutely, you know, so powerful, so good, really strong. In second place, so Kenshin taking about 12% of topping decks, which in a local meta scene, like how many people are playing and all these tournaments results, this is like, I think 18 or 19, yeah, 18 different tournaments I've taken, no, 12, yeah, there's 12 different tournaments I took all this stuff from. Some of them were bigger tournaments, so I took multiples, but for Kenshin still to take up 12% of like even local metas where people are just playing is very impressive. You have Yellow Kaiju, the Kikuru, I'm not sure if that's how you spell her name. Like I said, I type all these things in really fast because I do try to get all the data myself, so it does take me a little bit of time when I do these particular pie charts. But this deck is really good, really scary. It's a very aggro oriented deck, and I think that it's the deck a lot of people are taking to play against Kenshin, because you do just rush your opponent down so much. You do only kind of need to be at that 3 energy line marker to play a lot of it. And the issue with this deck is trying to get over 5k bodies, right? Which Kenshin does not offer in the Kenshin deck, which is why I think Kikuru does such a good job into Kenshin. So if you're looking for a great matchup, I think this is one of the best ones to take against Kenshin. You just aggro them down, and you don't mind when they push your stuff back because you only need 3 energy. But really strong deck. I will go through the numbers after I go through the pie chart. We have a 2-way tie for 3rd place with the green bleach Toshi kind of hybrid build decks with Kenpachi. These decks are really good. I think this deck is really strong with the cards that we got from the binder collection. Really good, very strong stun deck, but then also really good just, you know, being able to get down the Kenpachis. And the Toshi is really powerful to tap down your opponent's entire energy line. They have the when played Toshi to draw a card that's dope energy generator, which I feel like every green build 'em up deck should have. Just the ones I play don't, apparently. And then green Kaiju number 8 coming in at the tie in 3rd place with Toshi. I do think that this is the best green build-em up deck we have at the moment. It has removal, it has pushing things back to the backline and stunning it, so kind of a good mix between Toshi and your more typical green, like Suzaku kind of build. I guess like if you took both of those decks, Suzaku and Toshi together, put them together, that'd kind of give you like a Kaiju number 8 deck. And it's definitely the most consistent with the amount of triggers and just draw and double energies that they have. That this is definitely, if you're wanting to play a build-em-up green deck, this is the one for you. So that's 3rd place tie here, and then we have a lot of different decks. 1, 2, 3, 4 different decks come in 4th place tie at 5.2%, and that is your Yellow Kaiju Mina. This is also a really good deck I think a lot of people are playing, and I did separate the 2 Yellow Kaiju decks and the green Kaiju decks just because they are different enough. Like I said, now that everybody's kind of like figured out the builds, when you say Mina or Kikuru, people kind of know what you're talking about, right? And I think that Mina is really strong. I think Mina suffers a little bit with needing to see very specific lineups, where Kikuru is a little bit more consistent and maybe not as powerful as Mina can be, right? Like just keeping something tapped down is insane, and the yellow card that lets them search and play something for free is nutty. That kind of search card that plays is really powerful. The yellow deck's getting to live with that is really good. But you have purple Saito Kenshin deck. Obviously a really powerful deck, definitely one of the most powerful decks in the game. Saito, Roy, and Blue JJK, all decks that kind of sit around that same, control-y, really powerful, strong tier decks. These are 3 decks that really just don't ever go out of the way. Granted, like the Kaiju decks and the new Bleach deck are definitely newer, so I think some of the favoritism on them being the newer decks is kind of a big deal too. So people are probably playing a little bit more, but you will definitely, still see the Blue JJK, FMA Roy, Mustang, and the Purple Saito. I don't have a lot to say about these 3 decks. Outside of the fact that you will see more people play the Blue JJK now that pair banning. After this video, I'll probably do another video to kind of go over the news for Union Arena. But if you're not aware, there is not a pair banning anymore for Blue JJK, so you can run the Searcher UG, which makes the deck so consistent. And just in a recent content creator tournament we did last night, there was a lot of people testing out the deck, and I have to let y'all know it is very consistent and very, very powerful. If you just see the fingers early, this deck is nasty. So definitely you're going to look to play against a lot of these in the future as well. Alright, and then coming down after that one, I do want to get into the numbers a little bit before I touch up on all these rogue decks. So you can see over here we have 7 Kenshins top. That's what gave it the first place. The Kikoru had 5 tops, and then we had the two-way tie with 4 tops each. The Kaiju number 8 green deck and the Toshiro green bleach deck. And then 3 tops each for Blue JJK, Roy Mustang, Saito, and then the yellow Mina deck. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different decks in a tie down here for 1, 2, 3, 4, like this kind of 4th-ish place. And this is definitely a thing where you get like the strong decks in Union Arena, but maybe still like on a lower in consistency tier. But there's just so many good decks, right? Like I wouldn't be surprised to see any of these decks like get a top or like randomly be the one that got 4 or 5. I think all these are like, once you go from this percentage of the pie chart, which you can see here kind of cuts off into like nice little bit over 75%. These decks I'm about to mention forward are definitely all the decks that are kind of like in this current, like 10 to 12-ish kind of like high tier meta decks, I think, which is purple JJK Toto got 2 tops, green Kogiya Suzaku got 2 tops, the purple Bleach Ichigo deck got 2 tops, the purple Toguro Brothers got 2 tops, so good purple decks coming in. The yellow Demon Slayer Brother Sister Tanjiro Nezuko deck got 2 tops, and then a green Kaiju Hoshino. So another Kaiju deck. I think the Hoshino deck is a little bit harder to build and a little more unique than the other decks. So, but definitely another lower to the ground kind of deck, but not as consistent as Kikoru. So a lot of people who are wanting to play that kind of deck just play Kikoru, where you aren't forced to only play names of Hoshino. Right? You can run the Kikoru, you can run the Reno Raids, and it gives you a little bit more. But all these decks getting 2 tops, I don't think there's any surprise to see Toto on here. Suzaku, I've seen a lot of people really scared of Suzaku recently, just not wanting to get high rolled. I do believe like if Suzaku does high roll, it still can just be any deck in the game. The Purple Bleach Ichigo, this is just Purple Bleach Ichigo or Squad Zero, both the same. I didn't get too crazy into the different deck list for this one. The Purple Toguro Brothers, I think in most people's eyes is definitely the best deck to come out of Yu Yu Hakusho. Turn 3, damage 3, Papa Body is so powerful, and if you get hit by it, it's really hard to come back in those games. Now, granted, if you can clear the big body and then mess with their energy line, you have a chance to kind of mess them up, but if in 2 more turns they do that again too, it's not going to feel great. The Tanjiro Nezuko deck still just always performs really well. There are a couple really good pilots that have this deck. It's not an easy deck to pilot, so that one definitely takes some time. And then, like I said, the green Kaiju Hoshino deck is really powerful. All the Kaiju decks are so strong. That's why all 4 of them are on here, right? Like you see all 4 different builds of the Kaiju decks. And I think with Kenshin and Kaiju, you'll see now going on from here, the power creeping of the newer IPs we're getting is going to slowly push a lot of these older IPs, I think, out of like relevance and like big meta games. But I'm definitely the believer in like, you could play whatever deck you want in Union Arena and, like have a good time. So those are all those decks. They all got 2 tops each. And then we have a slew of other decks. We will touch on all their names. But instead of using the pie chart here, I will go to the data. So we have, it's a doozy, y'all. 1 blue Hunter x Hunter specified slots, which is really, really cool. I didn't pull up the deck list, but really awesome to see that one. Definitely one of the ones I was really surprised to see. A red Yu Yu Hakusho Kurama deck, which is the event-based deck. If you haven't seen that deck, really, really cool. A purple bleach Byakuya. I'm actually kind of surprised not to see more of the purple bleach Byakuya decks in these toppings, but people are probably just trying to figure out the deck. It's not an easy deck to build. There's definitely some lines that you could play, but this deck is really, really powerful, and you definitely need to watch out for it. Yellow One Punch Man Saitama getting the top. This deck is... people just don't play this deck, and I don't know why, because it's still very, very powerful. We have the Full Metal Alchemist, the Edward and Alphonse Elric brother duo combo. In the same light as the yellow Demon Slayer brother sister combo deck, the brother combo deck is really good, and you have to know how to play into it. We have Red Black Clover, the three ladies in red on here. I love this deck too. Happy to see someone get a top with that one. Green One Punch Man Saitama, definitely still a very, very powerful build 'em up green deck. The green Yusuke, very happy to see someone playing Yusuke on here. If you guys know me, I love my green snipe decks, and I'm trying really, really hard to make Yusuke or Kurapika, I think, viable enough for me to be able to take the regionals this upcoming couple weekends. Attack on Titan red, this is the red Attack on Titan deck. Very powerful deck, being able to come down, put some damage on your opponent. The red Black Clover deck, really good. This is a deck that I feel like so many people are just not playing, and I played against it recently, and this deck can just like rush you down. Blowing up bodies, swinging in, getting draw power if you run the Mosa build. If you choose to run the Noel build, you have even higher ceiling and more control. Really, really good. The 2-drop event card that like forces your opponent to have to block is insane. That only costs 2 energy. The green Black Clover green Captain's deck. Whoever is piloting this deck, kudos to you. I love this green build 'em up deck too. I just don't ever find a way to like make mine super consistent where I don't play it as much, but I do love this deck. Shout outs to you. And then purple Full Metal Alchemist Homunculus, another one of my favorite decks. I love to see a lot of my pet decks doing well in here. I got a top. And then the last one, obviously, you guys know one of my top 3 favorite decks of all time. Purple Code Geass, the Gawain deck is on here. Really, really good build. I love this deck. And it's just, you know, as we go through time in Union Arena, some decks just won't get played as much because people do favor new things. But you need to watch out for Purple Code Geass. I think it is still a very, very powerful deck. Even though a lot of people say this deck is dead, I still do pretty well with it. Well enough, you know, to have people not want to play it or when I bring it up, but the power is still there. But I think just looking at this chart, you can see that it is a very diverse meta, which is always the case for the Union Arena trading card game. Like I said, I think this top kind of 75% are a lot of the decks you probably will see if you're going to a regionals anytime soon here. But also a lot of these decks on the cusp you will probably see. Some of these maybe not so much. Like whoever top with the Hunter x Hunter blue specified slot deck, power to you. Probably won't see that or the Kurama at regionals if you're going this weekend. Outside of that, maybe like the green Black Clover deck, also the captains, you might not see. It'd be hard pressed to see some of those 3 decks atop. But all these other ones, definitely viable decks in the metagame, but still very healthy. But definitely a Kenshin heavy meta. Everything still revolves around red Kenshin because I think it is still just the most powerful and consistent deck. And without something to change that, you know, with new IPs coming into the game, that will change, you know, how prevalent Kenshin is because people do just play newer decks. But the deck is insane. I think most decks have to hope that Kenshin low rolls and you high roll to beat them. But with these top kind of ish tier decks, these guys over here with the 2 and 3 tops, 4 tops for the Kikaru, all of these kind of have a good matchup into it, like where they can compete. I think a lot of these other decks on the bottom end probably have to high roll and see some stuff go in their favor, but regardless, a very healthy meta. I know you probably tired of seeing this Kenshin up here, but it's not going anywhere. It's still going to be the best deck for quite some time. I do know that one of my favorite IPs when we get Evangelion will change that. A lot of those decks are powerful, but I want to know what y'all think in the comments down below. Do you guys love to see these pie chart videos? They're one of my favorite ones to do because I love to talk about it. I love to see what people are playing because I play a lot of different decks, so I love to see a lot of people playing different decks too. But that's going to be the state of the meta report. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Please leave the video a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and share the channel. Help me grow. We're getting closer to 500 subs, and I could not be more excited. We'll have to do something special for 5. I don't know what. Leave some comments down below if you guys have any ideas. Maybe I'd go on stream and play a bunch of games with all y'all, but just let me know. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me today. Peace.